This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. And pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Morning, everyone. It's August 2nd, 2022, 8:30 a.m. The Supervisors Board meeting, Mitchell County. We have an agenda in front of us. We need a motion and a second to approve the agenda. I'll move to approve the agenda. Steve made motion to approve the agenda. Second.
I'll second.
Todd seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 2, approve the minutes of the July 26th meeting. And yep. So we need a,
We'll make a motion for the July 26th meeting.
okay, Mark's made a motion to approve the July 26th meeting. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, Jim second that. Is there any discussion on this?
Roll call, Mark.
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Steve.
All right.
Jim.
Aye.
Todd.
Aye.
Item 3, county attorney general discussion. Morning, Aaron.
Morning. I was gonna just touch base. Last week, there was some discussion. I did some checking afterwards, and like I said, I don't get involved in any policy decisions or anything, but you were discussing on that that grant for tearing down property, whether what we were discussing about is whether the individual was a property owner at the time they applied. I had indicated at the time, I recall, I said, well, purchase agreement's kind of like it's going to be very, very similar to like a real estate installment contract. In essence, the same thing. Real estate contract. And when you sign it, you then become kind of the beneficial owner. The owner retains legal title, but the purchaser becomes a beneficial owner or equitable title holder. So they are an owner once that contract is signed. I think that's what I said, and that is true. I confirm that. What I did a little double checking on was whether, okay, in this case, if approval is required to, or for the sale to go through, then, is there really a valid contract before that? Well, I did some checking, and I think the answer is yes. I mean, granted, the purchase holder or the purchaser will have an interest, maybe subject to, and these legal terms get a little bit, and I get them intermixed sometimes. So this might not be the exact correct term. But there's attorneys out there listening. I realize this may not be the exact correct term, but in general, it's true. You can have what's called like an interest subject to divestment, which means you have an interest, but that interest could go away if certain things happen, right? So the long answer is, like I said, I talked about it last week. I thought I would just follow up because I did a little research, and it would appear that citing that contract, even though it was still subject to approval for sale, that would be a real estate interest, right? So, I think from a legal perspective, signing that, signing that purchase agreement gave the individual an interest. And so under, the application process, I haven't actually seen the application, but I think it just kind of uses the word owner, and I think that would qualify, I guess, the long and short of it. So, like I said, I don't get involved in policy decisions or whether it's wise or not wise to do it. I just try to give legal advice, and I think in that case, I think that that would qualify as an interest. So I just wanted to follow up with that.
The city last night had passed a resolution for a project development agreement for that individual for that property. So that's another step that lock locks them into that, so.
So, you know, like I said, I just thought I would follow up. I think I said I would. So I just wanted to, you know, make
True
sure.
to your word, are you?
Huh?
True to your word. then.
Well, I try as long as I remember. Once in a while I forget something. And if I forget something, I always tell people, you know, remind me. I mean, I won't blow you off on purpose, but if I forget something, just remind me and I'll try to get back on it. Rachel has to do that once in a while. Hey, oh yeah, okay. And, you know, so. Sound okay?
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah. All right, do you have anything else? Or anybody have anything else for Aaron? Hearing nothing? Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.
Item 4, sheriff update.
Good morning. I don't have a thing for you. Statesville was good. We got Briceville this weekend, so it's all good over there. Unless you have questions for me on lines from
That's not done. Must be done.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Item 5, department head discussion. Have anything?
Just kind of an update for the Carpenter sewer. I know Aaron had mailed out letters to the individuals that hadn't paid their June bill. I did send, there were 4 individuals that still hadn't paid, so Mike is going to be disconnecting the pumps until they pay.
Okay. They'll get notice that this is gonna happen.
Well, that's what the letter.
That's what the letter is, so they should know.
Sure.
And it had a date on there.
Yeah, what I actually did, if I recall, I enclosed a copy of that particular part of the ordinance. And I put, and I don't remember exactly what the timelines are off the top of my head. But, so I'm not trying to be specific, but it says something like, the ordinance says something like within 10 days or so many days of receipt of this letter, you know, they can shut it off. Well, a lot of times, so sometimes I dictate those letters. And then I usually have Becky, she transcribes and then sends it out, because I'm not that fast of a typist. So sometimes you might get a situation where, okay, is this letter gonna go out at like 3 o'clock today, or is it going out at 9 a.m. tomorrow? So sometimes what I'll do is I'll say, okay, 10 days from the date on this letter, you know? And so I guess if somebody can do the math, they can follow that. So that's what I would have done, so.
Okay.
Does their water work, but then their sewer will not work? Is that how it will be?
Yeah, because they're private wells over there.
Okay.
You know, it's a community sewer, county sewer, I guess,
Okay.
which for what reason, I don't know.
That will get their attention when they hit the flusher.
I did tell Anna if she has problems with people that they can call and talk to either you guys or us. Since not taking them out of it, but we're the ones that have to follow the ordinance because they haven't been paying, so.
Yeah.
We haven't been that good.
It is what it is. Okay. Is there anything else for the department discussion?
One thing that conservation's doing, a wetland project up at the Pitson property. And apparently they've been hauling, the contractor that's doing the work has another project in Stacyville. And they've been hauling some material from that project to one in Stacyville. And they've been hauling for a week straight. I can talk to Adam about it, is that their dirt to get rid of or sand?
Sand is what they're hauling out of there.
And how are they weighing it and counting the loads? I think it's county property, wasn't it?
They're hauling, they got a big hole there. All my neighbors are mad because they ruined all their dust control, so I forwarded that on to Adam also. You got 5 trucks going up and down the gravel road for days on end. And my one neighbor's driveway, they share a driveway and it's all flattened out. He says he hopes they fix that too. But, yeah, I don't know.
So the contractor's taking that dirt and taking it to another project and he's making money off that. With sand, I guess.
It's sand. Looks like nice.
Is that,
It's like masonry sand. I mean, it's good clean sand.
So it isn't going to another county project?
No, private project where he's gonna make money off the, and they had an outlet from one of the quarries, and in Mason, they were bringing material in before this.
Projects, it's the ones that we've done. Let's just say you're tearing down a bridge. It's in the plans that the bridge becomes property of the contractor, meaning, so this could be the same thing. I have no idea how it's wrote up, but it could be that, yeah, we want you to do this job. You get materials, the materials are, they're your property. So I don't know if that's how it's wrote up or not, but that happens in projects.
We've been recipients of projects like that too, where they're on another project, need to get rid of material. We'll get dirt from another project that they're, they bid a project for us that needs shoulder construction, and the contractor needs to find a dirt location. Well, they might be working on another project that might have that clause in there saying, hey, it's your responsibility to get rid of the dirt. Well, look, they've got a project now that they need dirt. We pay them for that dirt because that's how they got to pay to get rid of it. It's their responsibility. And so they're going to make money on, if they've got to pay to dispose of it, they're going to find a way to cover their costs to either get rid of it or use it on another project. I don't know how that's written up either, Mark. I don't, but it's not uncommon for that to happen. We do a lot of that. We don't want to stockpile chunks of old bridge, and so we make them responsible for disposing of it, and there's a cost for doing that. And if they need to make money, they need to make money by getting rid of it, cover the costs.
And they can take the steel to
Recycle.
salvage and make money off the steel. It's just, we wash our hands of it. We don't want it, it's yours. Again, I have no idea if that's how that's wrote up or not, but that does happen.
I just wanted to bring it to attention before he calls it, trying to do something.
I mean, did you ask Adam as far as how it's
I have not
done?
He wasn't around yesterday when I stopped. I'll try to get a hold of him.
How do I know about the people with the dust? So I don't know who do you get? Woody's or somebody? There's different contractors. We don't specifically. I mean, when we'll call Woody's probably. I guess we have 3 different options that we call. Okay. Yeah, Woody's, Dino's, and there's a V. So one guy just had his put on just days before they did it. Don't even know what happened.
The thing of
it
it
is,
is,
this
dust control is an option by the landowner on the road, and whether it's whoever wears it out, public road, anybody can drive up and down it and wear it out. So it's kind of
it's a courtesy thing. I know when I was Select built that building, they dust controlled everybody's just.
it's his option to put it down, and I hate to say it like that, but it is a public road, and whoever wears it out drives up and down it. It's their right.
But dust controls for normal traffic, where this is straight. Because when we do projects, we dust control. The county does.
When we do that just because we know that it can be an issue, or we have a specific detour and we know people aren't going to use that detour and increase dust. It's not always, I don't like doing it, but we do it just because we know that it's kind of a courtesy thing.
Gotta be a good neighbor.
Yep. And I've had 4 people come to me, so I'm just passing it on to them. You can.
Again, though, you've got a contractor moving it out.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know if they're making it bigger because they're finding good sand. I mean, they've got a big hole for a wetland that looks, I don't know what to.
have to look at the plans and see what the design is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Well, and I don't know how it's written either, but you don't control the haul routes by another contractor. You're getting rid of material. Correct. You don't know what route they're going to take. It's kind of up to them. If they've got their own stockpile, you get a location.
They've been going both directions.
It's never an easy topic to discuss, and it's not fun to discuss.
I know when I worked, Walton was causing dust problems on the road or ruining the road. He had to put down dust control. County didn't do it for us. Responsible if he's the one causing.
Yeah,
the dust.
so maybe when they're digging, it's the ones that should be responsible. I don't know. I mean, Adam can take that up with them then, or.
They consulted between themselves.
Yeah, it's their project. So. Okay. Any more department head discussion? Okay, moving on, item 6, county engineer update.
Morning, a few updates. Our new CAT 140 motor grader finally came in the other day, so they're getting stuff put into it. Kirkwood paving that started yesterday. They're working on the northbound lane today. I think they want to try to be done paving by the end of the week. So that'll be a pretty quick job here to get done. Hickory is done. We need to do some seeding and some erosion control stuff, but the volunteer grass / weeds came in pretty hard. So we might be able to eliminate some of the silt fence requirements just based on the fact that there's already an established root system there with some grass. So we'll save a little bit of money there. We do have a change order for some of that subgrade repair that's going to be spendy, but we needed to fix that subgrade there before we paved on it. So, and then I've got a walkthrough with the DOT on the Balsam Bridge here next week. I think we're going to just kind of go through it and get some things buttoned up there. So you try to stop out at the office. I may or may not be in there this week. So I'm trying to told them Worth County wouldn't be around there much this week to try to cover everything. They can't cover it all. So I'll be hitting this. She had my phone number. So the only other thing we have on the agenda is the review or the discussion of the final design for the 105 bridge. So we had the contract for preliminary, which included all the survey and hydraulics and everything else. And now we're getting into the final design. Once we get the preliminary done, that kind of tells us what size bridge and what we have to do for design. So this bridge is unfortunately not another standard bridge, just like the one up by the Wapsie there. That one wasn't a standard bridge just because of the intersection there. Well, because of where the intersection is on this one, it's not a standard bridge. We have to have a high abutment on one side. We can do the standard abutment on the other, but we've got to mix them together, and it takes a little bit more design work to do that. So the fees that they're requesting are a lump sum fee of $61,900 to do that and get that into the bid letting. And the bid letting's been kind of pushed back now to February just based on some of we've got some, I think next week they're going to try to do some borings out there. So once they get the borings, they'll know what they need to design for footings and everything else. So we've kind of pushed the project back a little bit, but even being let in February, it'll still be next year's construction. So I recommend for the final design to WHKS for the lump sum fee of $61,900.
So looking for a motion in a second.
And just so you know, the design is a 90-foot bridge,
90 foot.
90 feet long and 30 feet 6 inches wide.
That price is kind of normal for something like this, probably.
Design fees, yeah. That's,
I'll move to give the design contract to WHKS at $61,900.
He's made a motion. I will second that. Any further discussion on this?
Roll call, Todd.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Steve.
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Mark.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I have nothing else for you today.
Okay. Did you decide on those driveways? Were they coming out or staying in?
I don't think we're going to do much with driveways.
Driveways at all, right?
They might need a little dirt yet for some shoulder work that they'll do toward the end of the project. And if there is, we could snag some of those driveways, but I don't think there's a whole lot of it.
Okay.
We're going to be doing.
And then I don't know, I called you about that bridge. Did you look at that?
Yeah, it's not, there are a lot of hairline cracks that, I mean, the outside, the down outflow side of that, it's actually a box culvert, twin box culvert that has it's got some deterioration on the very outside edge of the box culvert structure itself. There's some hollow spots and there's a road digging in there. We can try to get some of that fixed, but structurally, I don't see much of a concern with the traffic.
Where's this one at?
The one over, it's north of Meyer between Dave May and John Cruz. It's 28 by 5. This little bomb bunker of a box culvert that has some
The face, the outside face of the box culvert in Upstreet's got some cracking and some delamination of the concrete. But there's a few exposed bars, but
That's the one that's just east of Dave's?
yes,
Okay.
it's pretty solid looking. The floor is still in it. Just on the outside, there's probably a foot section where some of the floor is missing, but that's right on the very edge of the box culvert. So there's some rebar exposed, but I don't see anything detrimental there. That's gonna, I think, last 20 years before we look at it again, but we'll keep an eye on it.
Okay, yeah, I just had a call. So.
Yep, they called me too, so I thought I'd get out there and look at it yesterday, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
The motor graders that come, you one time talked that they might have urban wings on them, not high benching wings. What did we get?
This one has, I think, the same, I'm trying to think. I'd have to look again.
That's fine.
I don't recall, no.
Doesn't matter.
It had the wing out, we took it off, we were gonna put it in. I think it's got a full bench on it. And trucks, we were looking at more of a less of a bench, but this one's got a full bench on it yet. I'd have to look at that.
That's what that is. I just wondered.
Yeah, we got rid of another Volvo.
I had an email from from a gal that was here a few weeks ago on the Keening's project. And she just, the culverts must be put in up there. I don't know, did he do that himself?
I haven't looked at it, but you probably did.
Could you just take a look at, she just emailed me, I think Thursday or Friday, I see it. Said she's worried about some flooding the way it's and some erosion.
I got the same email.
Okay,
And so
I haven't been up there. So
when I replied to her, I wondered if, I didn't know if she was talking about ditch culverts that were installed or if it was the lay of the land. She talked about there might be some erosion on her ground. And I don't know if the lay of the land has natural flow coming across the road he's going to be putting in. So if he put some culverts in that location, and she's concerned about that, I said, that was not our call. It's on private property.
I think there is maybe from that field going to the south. There might be the way the land washed to the south, but I don't know. I'll look at it.
yeah, I just emailed her back to talk to you and maybe you could run up there sometime and take a look.
I'll run through this morning before I get too deep into other stuff.
Okay, thank you.
That road last week where they cut both sides, they get that cleaned up or
Where they cut
part of it. Did those pictures?
On the side.
oh, so it's got to dry out yet. When it dries out, we'll get it run across. It's got to dry out. Otherwise, we're just gonna make a bigger mess.
It's on the edge of the road too.
It's on the edge of the road, yeah.
It's not, I don't.
Yeah, I went up and looked at it. It's high right on the shoulder, but there's still plenty of road to drive on.
They gotta get rid of that grass growing out.
Yeah, I told them once it starts drying out, we'll get it. And I told the operator, I told the foreman, I said, once it dries out, we can get it pushed across again, but it'll be fine.
This is something that happens every year. It's
The
just
standard practice, and those were quite big, but if it hasn't been done for years, it tends to get rather large.
And I've seen it in other counties. I've seen it in Saragordo. And as I've stated earlier, I've seen it in other states where they're doing the same thing. So it isn't anything unusual for
As
us.
soon as it's fit, we'll get it knocked out and spread across. Try to do it, maybe I'll drive it today too. So.
Okay. All right. Questions for Rich?
Thank you.
Hearing none, thank you. Item 7, items of note, meetings attended.
I just had a city council meeting last night and the two things that kind of were related to us. One had to do with their like housing thing that we discussed last week. There's a project development agreement. Last night that comes Loxing is doing that. I haven't read the agreement, but after the meeting, talked with Joel from Landscape Partners. He said that the building has to be down by the end of the year as far as what's in the agreement. And then Shannon was there to discuss with them about the abatement thing we discussed last week also.
And it sounds like the city's not going to pursue the avenue of us or her having to go back on all of the taxes. They're just going to take care of the issue internally, so. Go ahead.
I had nothing. I had a substance abuse coalition board meeting for Mitchell County. I talked about the problems in the county and they're putting an ad on at the movie theater. I think got enough money for 1 quarter. We're talking about funding for the rest of the year for that. It's the meeting I had.
I had a wellness meeting down here. We got $4,200 yet to spend on those portals. Each department head's gonna get their groups together, see if they can get their money used up. County social service meeting, getting the salaries lined up with the rest of the districts since the state took over that department. North Iowa workforce, they're getting got some young kids involved in recycling centers this summer for jobs for them. And all the counties are talking about work shortage people and shortage of housing. I don't know where everybody went, fell off the face of the earth, I guess, last 2 years. Shortage everywhere.
That's just not it is.
I had none.
Moving on, item B, manure management plan update.
Hogville Court, 4147 Hickory Avenue, Sinansker. Primrose South Farm, 4417 Primrose Avenue, Little Cedar. Shadow Finisher Farm, Underwood Avenue, Riceville. Riceville Site, 3247 400th Street, Riceville. Burn Site, 4051 Underwood Avenue, Riceville. Maple Lawn Pork LLC, 2020 490th Street, Sinansker. Daniel Showalter, 1833 500th Street, Sinansker. And Growth Farms, 4450 Jersey Avenue, Sinansker.
Okay, thank you. Item C, public comments.
I just wanted to thank the supervisors that helped with the silent auction. I think it turned out pretty good. We sold, we got rid of quite a few items. I think that should help in our storage.
Yeah.
We went pretty well.
What did that little table bring that? That was an examination table where the drawers went.
$28.
That's it.
$28.
Okay, well, it's still gone.
Yes.
That was the main thing.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, that was old.
Mhm.
I think that purchased it, will put it to good use. Apparently, he's kind of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it'll probably be out there again.
Mhm.
I mean, he's pretty creative with stuff, so.
It's very interesting, $28.
Well, I wonder what they ever do with that. What do you use it for?
Oh, I think it was at Public Health, or it got gifted to Public Health.
Oh. The autopsy table or something.
Well, it has the stirrups with it and everything. $28. I still didn't need it.
Anything else? Quick comments? Hearing none, just looking for a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting today.
I'll move to make that motion today.
I've made a motion. Second,
Yeah, I'll second that.
Steve has seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourned.